Hi guys, Mr. Gillen here with the final part of simultaneous equations, and in this video we're going to look at the exam style questions that you might face for simultaneous equations. So hopefully by now you are comfortable with the process, and we're going to put it into that more problem solving context. So let's look at an example. So, cinema ticket for a family of 3 adults and 1 child costs £15. Tickets for another family of 1 adult and 2 children cost £10. And what we are looking to find out is the cost of 1 adult, the cost of 1 child, and then ultimately the cost of 6 adults and 3 children. Now, instantly the first thing that stands out for me is they've not given me any equations. There's no mention of solving, so that's the first thing to be able to actually identify that this has simultaneous equations. What we can see though is we've got 3 adults, so we can start to actually form equations. We've got 3 adults and 1 child, or 1C, is equal to £15. So we're actually able to form our own equations. 3a add c equals 15, and then an adult plus 2 children is equal to £10. So that's the first thing that stands out here that's different from the standard questions, is we're not always given 2 equations in order to work them out. We have to actually construct them ourselves. So that's the first very important part of the equations, or simultaneous equations, in a problem solving environment. So let's have a look. We said that we had 3a plus c equals 15, and we had a plus 2c equals 10. Now, sometimes this is a personal preference. I quite like working with x and y, just because it's familiar to me. I've been doing it that way the majority of time. So if you want, this is always up to yourself. If you want, you can change so it becomes x and y. That's what I'm going to do, because as I say, I like having that familiarity when I'm doing things. I like to keep processes the same. So I'm going to change it to 3x plus y equals 15, and x plus 2y equals 10. And then I start going about my usual process. I've now got my 2 simultaneous equations. I'm now going to go about solving them. So I'm going to choose, I need to find obviously a variable to cancel. I've got no common variables between these. I've got a 3x and an x. I've got a y and a 2y. So I need to have one being the same value. I'm going to choose in this case to eliminate y, because in previous examples we've eliminated x, and I want to be aware that we can cancel either of the two. So I'm going to multiply equation 1, so remember and label them as well. I'm going to multiply equation 1 by 2 because of this 2 in front of the y, and I'm going to multiply equation 2 by 1 because we've got the y on its own up here. So we've got 6x plus 2y equals 30, and x plus 2y equals 10. Label your 2 new equations. I've now got 2y in both 3 and 4. I've got the same operation. So remember, if it's the same operation, we're going to subtract. So I've got 6x subtract x is 5x, 2y subtract 2y cancels out, and 30 subtract 10 equals 20. Now I need to solve for x, so that 5 comes over and x is equal to 4. I've got my x equals 4 and I've got my two original equations, so I've got 3x plus y equals 15 and x plus 2y equals 10. I'm going to substitute x equals 4 into, and again it doesn't matter, it can be 1 or 2, whatever suits. I'm going to put it into the equation 1. So 3 times 4 add y equals 15, and that's going to allow me to solve for y. As always, at the end, state your final answers. And that's me found my values for x and y. Now, because it is a problem solving question, we've got a bit of context to the question. We actually had a couple of different things the question was asking us. So if it is a context question, remember to answer that at the end. Part A was, how much does an adult cost? Can't just leave it as x equals 4. You have to state that the adult costs £4. For part B, we were asked about the child. Again, we can't just leave it as y equals 3. We've got to state that the child equals £3, or the child that costs £3. Part C asked us to use this information to calculate 6 adults and 3 children. All we're going to be doing there is substituting that in. 6 adults, 6 times 4, 3 children, 3 times 3. So we've got 24 add 9. So for 6 adults and 3 children, the cost would be £33. So that's a contextualised simultaneous equations problem. These do appear quite a lot in the exams. The main points again are that you have to usually construct the equations for yourself. So make sure that you read the question carefully. If you want, again, it's optional if you want to use x and y. I like it because I'm familiar with it, but it's not 100% necessary. As always, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me. This is Mr. Gillen signing off. Speak to you all soon.